You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it still. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks and Chris Walker, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. And Chris Walker is in parts unknown. Might be on the East Coast, might be on the West Coast. We never know. But Jimmy, let me tell you something on this date. Okay? It's I got a little echo. Let me figure it out. But on this date, back in 2000, look, it might be me. The sound is reversing. Okay, it's reverbing. That's all.
We're good now. I think we're good now.
We're good now? Okay.
Yeah.
But back in 1950, Jimmy, on this date, Earl Lord became the first black player to compete in the NBA. He played for 7 games for the Capitals, but was then drafted into the military and sent to Korea. When he returned, the Capitals had folded. He resumed his career at the Nationals. I just wanted to share that on this date. But Jimmy, I know you got a whole lot of stuff, and I know Chris Walker can't wait to tear into you because you've already.
You know why? Because he thinks you're a baseball manager, Hatter. That's why. He's trying to school us last night on baseball, and he needs to be talking to Hinch. He need to be talking to Hinch, and he trying to give us the game plan. But is Nike a sponsor now? We get money from them? I figure out what's going on over there. We getting the money or something?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm just asking. As long as we get the money, we're good. But back to the Lastros. I actually went to Game 6. Okay. I went to Game 6. I was at the World Series.
I remember.
Partner of mine hooked me up with some tickets. And let me tell you something, man. This is what blew me away. I'm sitting there watching the game, all the Astros. I'm amazed at how many jerseys that people are buying. We talking about basketball-related income. I got a question for you, Hatter. In basketball, when they buy the jerseys, is that basketball-related income?
Oh, of course. No. It goes into a pool that's split between the players and between the Players Association and the players. And and you know what, Chris? I'm not sure about the owners, but I know it goes in a pool. Hold up. It goes in a pool with all the players except Guess who? Michael Jordan. He got his own separate deal.
Really?
All the other players go into a pool. Michael
Wow.
Jordan stand alone. He get all his money. Anytime you buy the likeness of Michael Jordan, and he get his own money.
Here's my point.
And it is basketball-related income.
I saw more Altuve, more Verlander.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out the ones Carrera, because you know who their favorites are when they buy the jersey. Bregman,
right?
Carrera, Altuve, Verlander. Man, what's the pitcher's name? Cole? I didn't see one person wearing his jersey.
And I can see
Jared
why.
Cole.
The way
I didn't see one Jared Cole jersey.
It's Garrett Cole.
I mean, I'm not Jared. Garrett Cole.
Now,
It don't matter. The first name don't matter because they only
hold
put the
on.
last name on the back. I didn't see one Cole jersey.
Chris, look who trying to correct somebody about somebody's name.
I know. He
cannot
didn't work.
believe that.
He didn't work. But here's the deal, though. I didn't see one Cole jersey. I was blown away. As much as we talk about Garrett Cole, not one person, Chi-Chi, was wearing a Garrett Cole jersey.
Understand something. It's simple. Garrett Cole was leasing. He was not living. He just got here. He just got here mid-season around May, whenever Astros made the trade for him from Arizona. So that's one of the reasons. You understand? I mean, he, and when Cole. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Greinke made the trade. I'm sorry about that. So Cole had been there for a season, and it just had not yet fell in love with him because of the fact he had not re-upped, and possibly the word had been leaking out that we weren't going to probably be able to afford him going into after this season anyway, being known he was a free agent. This was one of the similar deals to when the Astros picked up Randy Johnson. Remember big 6'10" Randy Johnson? That was a pitcher, Hall of Famer and we picked him up and we rented him for a season. And just kind of them things. Now, speaking of jersey sales, you have to realize they're out of the top 20 jerseys, uniform sales in Major League Baseball. The Houston Astros have 3 of the top 20 of all players.
Who are the 3?
Altuve, Springer, and Carrera. I know Altuve is number 2. Aaron Judge is number 1 in merchandise sales. These are individuals from last season. Of course, the numbers won't be in from the 2019 season until after, in a few months when the fourth quarter ends. Because it's still in the Q4 right now. But so you have to realize Altuve is an easy sell. Remember, he won people the old-fashioned way back in 2017 when he got the MVP. Aaron Judge won the hearts of people. Think about it. This is one of the shortest guys in Major League Baseball and one of the tallest guys in Major League Baseball.
Bro, Jimmy, I got to ask you this. Have y'all heard the Altuve story, how he got to the Astros?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You know what? I take it back. I know Hatter always gets on me, Jimmy, about all them midgets out there that think they can play in the all them little Muggsy Bogues out there that play bad basketball that Jimmy making a check off of. So I know all them little dudes out there that Chi making a check off of. Listen to the Altuve story, and then then maybe you'll get some inspiration because it's the same type of story that Jimmy was listening to when he was playing at Smokey Jasper back in the day. So go on, Jimmy, keep going.
But last night, of course, Astros lose 6-2. Game 7 of the World Series to the Washington Nationals, and it was a game that the Astros led for more than half of the game, 2-0. They were in commanding. You're talking about a great performance from Greinke. I mean, he was, dude. He had basically a one hitter going into the 5th inning, a one hitter, and he gave up a home run. We are still up 2-1. Give up, and he walks the guy. The guy get on base, and all of a sudden, A.J. Hinch pulls the trigger, takes him out the game. And this was a 6th inning. I'm sorry, and this was amazing.
Can I make
took him out the game? We're playing Monday morning quarterback with this thing now. Mm-hmm. But even at the time, I was really thinking, okay, he wasn't struggling. Let him at least tie the game up.
I agree with you on that one.
I swear
he had a one hit or a two hitter, Chimmy. What at that point?
He had a one hit. The second hit was the home run. Remember? So it was a one hitter going in. The second hit was the home run. So I'm like, well, and I'm saying it to myself. I'm like, if you do take him out at the time, because you guys were asking me why didn't Cole come in? Because we saw Cole warming up.
I wasn't asking you. I was being sarcastic. I was just letting you know.
No, you didn't know that. No, that was the question that America was asking at the time.
I was being sarcastic.
No.
You don't think they should have put Cole in, Hatter? I would have put Cole in.
I got a question. So y'all blaming the manager right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he gets the blame.
I got something for y'all. I got a question for y'all. Whose better players played better over this series? I just questioned whose better players played better over the course of this series.
What do you define by played better?
Who's better players? They're top players. Whose better players on each team played better in the clutch moment? I just asked a question. Just said either team.
If you're going by the batting averages, then our players probably played better.
I say whose better players play. Okay, you don't want to ask the question. Okay, let me finish. No.
You got to define that.
I've learned that y'all don't know how. I've learned y'all never had no deductive reasoning class. I've already know that. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, no. Can I finish? Can I finish?
With baseball, you have to define what are you talking about in baseball. This ain't basketball.
Hey, Chris, watch this. I withdraw the question. Okay. I withdraw the question. Okay. All right. Because y'all always trying to blame coaching move. But guess what I learned about the managers? Hold on. That's what I learned about the managers in Major League Baseball. The Boise State football coach, Chris Walker, makes 3 times more than the manager of the Yankees. In baseball, the manager is minimal. We get him all the blame. Chris, in baseball, that's why they call it Moneyball. The GM makes a whole lot of decisions.
But the GM don't make the call during the game.
Coaching means more in football, man. What I saw, we keep blaming the coach. They keep blaming, A.J. Hinch. He didn't make Gary Cole. And guess what? Guess what he did? Gary Cole, with his unprofessional behind, and ain't nobody said nothing, after they tried to interview him after the show, after the game, right? He talking about, I'm not a part of this organization anymore. I'm representing myself.
Well, no. What if he was mad because they didn't put him in? What if he was mad because they didn't put him in?
What if Jalen Ramsey was mad because the coach wouldn't call that thing? Don't go there. You want to protect this way?
What if I'm not trying to protect him? I'm just Hatter. What if he was mad because they didn't put him in?
I don't care if my auntie had
he can't put himself in the game.
Hey,
he can't put himself.
You know what I saw? I'm glad Jimmy's such a basketball expert, which I'm just being sarcastic about. But
baseball.
He's a baseball expert, which I know he's not. But
I'm pretty keen on baseball.
The Astros couldn't hit in the late innings, y'all. Hold up. I watched the game with a person who don't know nothing about baseball.
That makes 2 of y'all. But keep going.
Guess what she noticed? Why they always get stuck on 2? Every game, Robert, why they get stuck on 2? She said,
it's the World Series.
Guess what she said? I can't watch it anymore. The other team ain't stuck on 2. What the hell you talking about? The other team wasn't stuck on 2.
So explain to me games 3, 4, and 5 when we scored 4, 8, and 7 runs.
Well, she wasn't watching them games. Hey, Mr. Expert.
You said every game.
Hey.
Explain 3, 4, and 5. Hold on. Washington scored.
Excuse me. The games at home. Hey, maybe she meant the games at home. And the games she watched. Yeah, okay. You got to realize she don't watch baseball. She was just sitting up there saying, why do these guys, this to the naked eye, Mr. trying to tell this small ball, watch this small ball. I said, man, shut the hell up. They just hit a home run. Huh?
They wore him down, man. Listen, if you listen to the telecast, they were setting it up the whole time. The Nationals have been down 5 times. If I was the Astros, I would have put Garrett Cole in because I would have known that the last 3-4 innings, that's when the Nationals turn it on.
Chris, now I realize what's going wrong with y'all's brain. You just said something that watch the telecast and listen to them. I turn it on because I don't want to listen to them.
Why not?
Because I
don't.
It's
informational.
It's informational. I got some information for you. You want some information? You want some information?
Give me some.
Guess what? Hold up, Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy. The Washington Nationals started this season 19-31.
31.
Hold on. And just squeak their way in the postseason, right? Okay, hold on. What they did last night is what they done for the entire October run. They find a way to come from behind in an elimination game. That's what they've been doing. They did it on the highest payroll in the league, the mighty Dodgers. They did it. Okay, come on. I'll let you.
So why wouldn't? So I'm gonna go to Jimmy. So why wouldn't you put Garrett Cole in? Listen, Hatter, it ain't no game tomorrow. You got the best pitcher in baseball. He only got to pitch 1 or 2 innings. Why would you not? Think about this, Hatter. You know what it's like? It's like when you tell a coach in basketball, dude, why would you end the game with a timeout? Like you can't. It doesn't matter if you end the game with a timeout. You got the best. You only let him go out there in a close game.
Chris, let me tell you something. You remind me of one of these kids who just want to get there. You want to talk instead of listening to what I just told you. You had an answer. You had an answer already prepared before the teacher even gave. I mean, the teacher barely gave. Hey, I'm the teacher right now. Let me teach right now. I barely gave you all my explanation. You just wanna position your side. I understand.
I wouldn't have ended the game with the best pitcher in baseball not pitching.
That's you and Jimmy. That's why neither one of y'all will never be a manager. Okay. All right. Okay.
Jimmy, please educate him when you get your chance. Please educate him.
This is the first time in this postseason that the Nats fell behind in a game. I'm sorry. This is the 5th time. 5th. I'm talking 5th. F-I-F-T-H. 5th, Jimmy. Mr. Smarty over there. This is the 5th time, Chris, I know you didn't know this, that the Nats fell behind in a game which could knock them out of the postseason. And guess what? And 5 times they said, what's this new saying? Hold my beer. I got these clowns. Couldn't it be the Nationals were great? Y'all keep bringing hits. Hold on, I got something else for you.
Can I go to Boomer Room real quick?
Go to the
you hold that point.
Go to Boomer.
Stephen Wood, and I'm going to throw it to Jimmy. He says, why wouldn't you put your best player in with 2 minutes left because he has 4 fouls? I mean, how do you put him in the game? How do you put Garrett Cole in the game? Come on, Jimmy, please talk to him, Jimmy. Please talk Hat off the ledge. Please talk him off the ledge.
Hold on. I got Jimmy, go on, because I got something about y'all. Let me tell y'all something Jimmy told me last night. Go on, Jimmy, because I got something for Jimmy ass. Let's go.
Y'all did everything except quote the damn manager himself. Let me read you what the manager said himself.
Please do.
You telling me about everything about the manager himself. This is what A.J. Hinch said after the game. They asked him about the decision about why he didn't put in Cole. Quote, I wasn't going to pitch him unless we were going to win the World Series and have a lead. Hinch said he was going to help us. He was available. And I felt it was a game that he was going to come in and we tied it or had taken the lead. He was going to close the game, right, in the 9th after I brought Osina in. We kept the lead. So this, what Hinch is saying, his words, these are not my opinion. His words is accepting responsibility, and he defining his decision. What happened is he was trying to buy time to the 6th inning, and he goes on to say this in his presser. Here's what happened. It was not an agreement. It was his inner decision that he would insert Cole at the top of an inning. because Cole had never came into a game as this is his excuse, AJ Hinch's. So as the reason he didn't want him to come into the game. Hold on, let me tell you what happens. What happens?
That was terrible. That was terrible, Jimmy. That was terrible.
Let him finish.
That was terrible.
Tell what happened.
Keep going.
Tell what happened.
Tell me. How is it terrible if I'm reading somebody's quote? Then that mean the manager is terrible.
But tell me where he went wrong. You say he was wrong. Tell me where he went wrong.
Well, who was wrong at?
You said AJ Hinch was wrong.
AJ Hinch admitted.
He didn't say he was wrong.
He said
he had a plan that you two guys don't know about. So let me tell you.
Adam, in the previous series, right? In the previous series, the manager of the Yankees, Boone, Aaron Boone, made several gambling decisions that came back to haunt him. That's part of the game. Now, the thing is, you got to be willing to accept responsibility and be accountable for your actions. He's accountable for them. So that's the thing.
Jimmy, tell me in that soliloquy, in your quotes he just made, he just said he had a different plan than what you and Mr. Know-It-All have over there. He got a different plan because guess what? He has been doing this. Matter of fact, he played in the major leagues. You clowns, y'all weren't even good.
I'm going to tell you what Jimmy said. You know what Jimmy said? Jimmy made a great point last night when I chopped him up. You said, neither is Joe Buck.
We ain't talking about Joe Buck this morning. We talking about you two. Y'all ain't Joe Buck either.
Listen. Let me understand to you the scenario. Garrett Cole, bottom line, no matter what, he entered last night's game under the impression that he was going to take the mound. At some point in time, he entered the game under the premise that he was going to take the mound. Even the back catcher, when they interviewed what's his name? Start with his, I can't think of his name.
I can't remember. I know you're talking about that.
When they interviewed him, think about it. Back catchers and pitchers have certain pitches that they catch. He even confessed and confided during the presser that he thought that Cole was going to pitch. The thing was, obviously, based on the actions of the manager, he was so confident that the Astros were going to get through that inning without giving up any more damage. He says, let me tell you what he says. They asked somebody, I'm gonna quote Hinch again. Another quote, right? He says, let me go and pull this quote up.
I just want to know who the hell are these guys on here. They just fans of yours or fans of yours. Who the hell are y'all to say I'm wrong? Y'all got to be out y'all mind. Y'all better listen sometime. Y'all better listen. Just because y'all think the coach, I still don't blame Hinch. So guess what?
Had he blamed himself, though?
He didn't blame himself.
Hinch right now, again, right? AJ Hinch. And he basically, I'm going to paraphrase, it's too much to read. He basically says that when that guy came up, when Kendrick was coming up the bat, Kendrick is the guy who hit the ball off the right field foul pole, the home run.
Right.
Before Kendrick was coming up the bat, he had Harris on his mind. Hinch. He felt that Harris had gave him good productivity against this guy. He felt that against Kendrick, so he wanted Harris. He opted for Harris to come out the bullpen and take the mound. And think about it. So what was the result? That was his decision. Because people ask, well, if you're going to take Greinke out the game at that point, then if anything, you bring Cole in. You brought this guy in. And then after that, it was still just 3-2. You brought another guy in. You still didn't bring Cole in to start the next inning.
And they tore him up too.
And they teed off on him. So here's the thing. Obviously, think about his actions showed that his decision did not generate the results as planned. It happens in life, but the thing is being accountable, that's where it starts. Now, sure, there are other things that you factor in about leaving 10 runners on base compared to the 5 for the Nats. But still, You leaving the guys on base. This people remember the last lingers on. You don't have arguably the Cy Young winner. It's no doubt who's the best pitcher for an American League.
But Jim, I'm gonna take it a step further. Think about Danny Martinez on the other side. Max Scherzer is scratched from Game 6 because he has has the injury, right? His back. They shoot him up with cortisone. He says they did some witch doctor stuff on him, and he goes out and pitches. And when he gives up that home run, I bet you everybody in Washington was going, man, why did he pitch him? Why did he pitch? Think about every inning they had 2 guys on. And I guarantee you everybody was doubting, why did he pitch him? And they end up winning with him. He could have decided not to pitch him, but that dude won Cy Young 3 times. There's no way that dude was not going on that mound for that game. And all I'm saying is if you were a pitcher, if you were the pitching coach, you got the Cy Young winner that you're not going to have when this game is over, by the way. Right? And you don't care if you don't have him if he wins you the World Series. You're not going to put him in the game? Matter of fact, who knows those other 2 guys he even put in? How do you not put him in? You tell me you can face the media today and be like, you know, I didn't put him in because of this. That's hard, man. I mean, maybe you can do that.
He just said it. Jimmy just so eloquently read that mess that he just said, and you were okay with it. You just said, let him read it, Robert. Let Jimmy read it. Let Jimmy read it.
He was accepted. He was telling you what was just like Deshaun Watson instead of Baker Mayfield running off the screen, right? When the guy asked him a question, Deshaun Watson eloquently told him what was going on. This is whether we agree or not, this is what's going through A.J. Hinch's mind. And we get to be the money quarterbacks. But guess what? I'm telling you as a layman who's sitting at the game, and I don't know how many people that the Minute Maid Park holds, I guarantee everybody's going, as soon as that boy hit that home run off Harris, man, what the hell is A.J. Hinch doing, man?
Hey, it's a great thing. Angel Valero, I'm glad you asked because my point got talked over. These guys just going on and on and on and trying, and Angel said, what is my point? My point is I'm saying they blaming the manager. And I'm smart enough to understand in baseball, in the business of baseball, the manager is one of the lowest paid executives in baseball. Angel, I quoted the Yankees, who's the highest paid payroll up there. Their manager makes 3 times less than the Boise State coach. I didn't say the Houston, the Boise State coach. So evidently, the manager position don't mean a great deal if you're paying the GM 100 times more than the manager position. All I'm telling y'all to listen, Junebug, I let y'all talk the mess, and I don't have to quote Greinke. I don't have to quote Greinke.
LeBron makes $40 million.
This is why I can't get my point.
What does Frank Vogel make?
This is why I can't get my point.
LeBron makes $40 million. What does Frank Vogel make? LeBron makes $40 million. What Frank Vogel make?
I said study baseball. Let's stay here, Chris. Let's stay here. Stay here. All right. Follow me. Go in baseball. Jimmy, go Google it. Baseball does not put a lot of money in the managers. That's why they're so easy to be flopped around. That's the point I'm trying to make. So you're going to blame him instead of Jeff Luhnow? You're going to blame him instead of higher up? That's the point I was trying to make. All of y'all, Jimmy, he had a built-in excuse ready this morning anyway, because I told him these Astros was going to get their ass whooped. But he had a built-in excuse. He got to talking about, could y'all believe this? I don't think Soto might be older than that. He from a country, they doctored the base. This man trying to blame Soto. Dude, y'all quit blaming people.
Alan, that was merely 100% humor. That was humor. That wasn't misery. I wasn't basking in misery. Because, dude, You the guy that anointed me as Mr. Bandwagon. If I'm Mr. Bandwagon, what am I going to be? Am I going to be the livid Astros lover or Mr. Bandwagon? Which one am I? You
definitely Mr. Bandwagon. I'm surprised you ain't got a Nats jersey on today.
I apologize. I ain't trying to name you. My bad.
I didn't know you had a Cornell shirt on. Yo, what's up, baby? Cornell in the house. I just saw that.
But before Angel
is understand. This is the thing that trumps and makes the stakes higher. We going into this game. We acknowledge my old cliche. There's no such thing as a bad game in the big game. It's called choking. And in the game 7, somebody is prone to choke, and it can be multiple people can choke at different times. The entire game is not rolled up and licked and smoked up under AJ Hinch, but he's a contributing factor. He choked on the major decision to make that he did not execute. As a manager in game while game is in progress, you can go. There's enough blame now on the offensive side.
That's your opinion. I don't agree.
I'm gonna say this again.
I don't agree.
Just like Brad Stevens. When we talk about Brad Stevens, when they had all them dudes, he draws up great after timeouts plays and stuff, right? And then when they don't have the players, guess what they say? The players suck. Brad Stevens should be given a pass. If AJ Hinch had won this game, all we talk about is, oh man, what great a manager AJ Hinch is.
He won already.
He put Cole in.
He won already. He won already.
He didn't win last night, and he had home field advantage. And he had two games to win it at home, and didn't get it done. So what I'm saying is the best team in baseball with the big payroll, with the 2 Cy Young quote unquote pitchers, don't get it done. You can blame the players. He had a chance to put the best. That's like saying LeBron, you mad at LeBron and you got a minute left. No, I'm talking about, and hypothetically, you mad at one of the players and you're like, I'm not putting that dude back in the game. Or better yet, Hatter, with the Sparks and the Derek Fisher thing. Well, I'm not putting her back in the game. What you mean you're not putting in the game? She's one of the best players in the league. You're not gonna put her in the game.
Hey, do y'all realize what y'all saying? I know y'all keep on blaming Hinch. Y'all, I love how y'all keep blaming him. I'm just not gonna blame him, cause I looked at something, because I looked at this baseball series and I feel bad for the home fans, because it's the first time every game that the fan base in the city, they never got to see the team win. This never happened. The Astros stranded at least 2 base runners inning, in every inning. They didn't give them a cushion. I mean, it's just so. Let's go through the numbers. In this series again, the road team won every time. Hold up. This has never happened, Chris Walker, even in football. I'm sorry. NBA basketball series or NHL series. The home team, this home team, y'all was blaming on AJ Hinch. The home team scored 14 runs between both of them. And the road team scored 49 runs between both of them. The Astros, were 4 of 29 at home with runners in scoring position at home. That's AJ Hinch's fault. Okay, I'm finished. Just keep on blaming AJ Hinch. On the road, they hit 393, Jimmy said, okay? That's AJ Hinch's fault. But you know what I love, Tim Kirchin, the old guy on the show? And y'all want to blame what you call him? Guess what he said? Y'all want to blame AJ Hinch? He said, man, that's baseball. That's baseball. You got Anthony Rendon. I didn't even know the kid was from here with the Rice. He showed out. Strasburg. He is the MVP. See, we keep blaming Hinch. He's the first pitcher, Chris Walker, and Angel Valero. He's the first pitcher to be 5-0 in a postseason. That don't happen. Hold on. Him and what's the other guy? So Strasburg, what's the other guy? Scherzer. They were 10-0, Chris Walker. 10-0. Hold up. But that's Hinch's fault. Right?
Hatter.
Oh my God!
You're a coach. You made like 10 points, Hatter. You made 10 points. I get where you're going. All I'm saying is, with 2 minutes to go in the game, and we need a game-winning shot, I'm putting Kobe in the game. Is all I'm saying. I'm putting him in the game. I'm not leaving Kobe on the bench. I don't care how good the other dude's playing. I'm putting Kobe in the game. That's all I'm telling you. Kobe's taking the last shot. Hey, I don't care how hot Dion Waiters is. Kobe going in.
There's a team in the league that would have done that. Put it like this. Let's say this was the Yankees. And let's say Aaron Boone had decided, he was under the same circumstances, Game 7 at home, right? And he did not pitch his ace. What would the headline?
He wouldn't be the coach. He wouldn't be the coach anymore in New York.
So he would be. So it's wrong to blame him if he was in New York. Don't blame him in Houston, but you can blame him in New York. If you were in LA and the manager at the Dodgers said, "I'm not going to put Kershaw in under the same
manager,"
he said he was going to put him in with his plan, not Jimmy's plan.
No, but he did not.
We just didn't get there,
dude. Every game. Chris Walker, you a career college coach.
Let's not talk about his record.
Hold on. Every game you have.
Hey, leave Chris out of this. Leave Chris out of this.
Why you gotta leave me out of this? Why?
Check this out. Don't y'all do a scout before you play every opponent? And then that
I was about to go there with him. I was about to go there. You know what a lot of coaches can't do? They can't coach on their feet. It don't matter what your plan is before the game. You got to be able to make adjustments.
Okay.
So no matter what he thought he's gonna do before the game, during the game, he got to make an adjustment. He got to make a call. Listen, man, Cole can't insert himself in the game. That's all I'm saying.
I got you, Chris. I understand you, Chris. But you know what I love about this stuff? We are in an affirmation era, not an information era. I just gave you a lot of information, but you come affirming that mess you and Jimmy been talking about the whole time. It used to be a long time ago, I can present you all the data and all the stats like I just did and win an argument. Not now. It doesn't work that way no more, y'all. Y'all just changed the channels on me. You went down and looked at your thing. Jimmy went over there and played with his peanuts. I mean, whatever y'all did, y'all was not listening. I could give y'all the data, and y'all over there living in an echo chamber. Y'all just echoing off each other. Y'all it's kind of frustrating because not one time have y'all listened. You know what? You was in a hurry to cut them facts off because I was tearing your ass up. You was in a hurry.
You quoting talking points. The bottom line is the dude had a decision. He had the best player in baseball, arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and you leave Game 7 and you don't put it. How about this, Adam? How about this?
Chamber. You and Jimmy in an echo chamber.
I'm gonna do you like I do, like I have to do like a recruit. I'm gonna do you have to do somebody else. I'm gonna do it like I do to other people. How about this, Hatter? How about you're right? Let's say you're right about every point. I'm not going to disagree.
I didn't say I'm the
right.
No.
Because you quote everybody. You quote everybody like you're right. So I'm going to say
I was just giving facts.
Hold up. I'm going to say you're right.
No.
So all I'm saying is, no. You said the facts. Facts are right. Facts are right.
You damn sure didn't want to be wrong. So
facts are right.
So you're saying
I'm saying you're right about every point. So all I'm going to ask you is, if you were the GM of the Astros and all the money you're making, you're looking at AJ Hinch, you're not going to say, AJ, what the hell were you thinking? Because the GM ain't calling down to the thing saying, hey, man, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. He's not doing that. So AJ made a decision. So you're not going to question him.
I agree with Chris because you're in this echo chamber. And all the echo chamber is, Jimmy, is y'all just echoing off each other and y'all ain't listening to what
I know what echo
I'm talking about Jimmy. Jimmy. He said.
Can I make one more point? How you put Osuna in? Think about it. The guy that caused all the controversy, that got the G. You put him in the game. And they throw him off the bone too. And you don't put Garrett Cole in the game?
He was not the guy who started to come. He was not the guy who started the controversy, Chris. He was not the guy.
But it was because of him. What are you talking about?
But I'm finished. I just gave the facts, and guess what? It's all right. I just, some of that stuff I know I gave you. You wasn't. You just want to blame him. Because y'all got on Twitter last night. Y'all got on Twitter. Hint. All of y'all, even the Facebook feed, they got on Twitter. Hint.
Hey,
let's blame hint. They got their ass tore off the bone.
Let's talk about the real fight.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real fight. Let's move it to the real fight because you ain't going to let go.
Okay.
Let's talk about Embiid.
That wasn't a real fight.
That wasn't a real fight. Jimmy, that wasn't a chokehold.
Wasn't no links pass.
Put him in a chokehold, Jimmy, like we in WWE.
No.
Like we in MMA.
It was a lick pass.
Who threw a lick?
Karl-Anthony Towns threw one or two. And they didn't land. They didn't do much damage at all.
You must have high def. You must have super high def. Because this high def I got, I didn't see it. I'm glad.
I didn't say connected. He swung. Karl-Anthony Towns swung. He was the first one to swing.
He got restricted to do grabbing. But
that's a swing.
But what I'm trying to find out is why is Ben Simmons grabbing another team's player and having him in a chokehold? That's what I want to know. Do he get fined? Do he get suspended for grabbing this guy? You don't grab another player, because the guy can think you helping his player. You helping your player. What do you? I mean, you don't have to, because I know y'all in an echo chamber. But what about that one? What about that one? That's all I'm asking.
Well, the thing that only Karl-Anthony Towns knows, because if somebody is holding you and have your neck in the hold, and then what they call a revert in a headlock of such, and you're trying to get loose and you're telling dude I can't breathe, and you're tapping out, and that guy doesn't release on his own. Now you don't know he's not releasing on his own or not, but it looked like when it took one of the assistant coaches or one of the security guys tapped on Ben Simmons' forearm, and that's when he kind of let go. So Ben Simmons claimed that he was being peacemaker and had a lock on him in an effort to calm down Karl-Anthony Towns. The Minnesota T-Wolves are not buying that. They are disputing that as we speak. So it's going to be intriguing. I think the safe mechanism for the NBA would be to go in on and give some type of fine or suspension, maybe one game, to Ben Simmons. That's that way to keep it, because now what it's going to do is it opens up another Pandora's box in fights. Because now if you try to break up a fight, then the next guy is going to be interpreted as being the guy that's instigating or ganging up. Do you look around like in the playground and say, well, I'm going to wait, when your guy break up your guy and I'm going to break up my guy? They don't have time for that. Every fight, now to the average fight, guys, it doesn't last no more.
If I see one of your friends, Jimmy, grabbing me, I'm tearing his ass up. So say that again. If I see one of your friends and me and you fighting, and one of your friends and he grabbing me, I'm hitting him dead in his mouth every time. I got this. Guess what?
Got you in the headlock.
I used to fight on the playground. Well, I'd have hit him somewhere else then.
Alan, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In Rosewood, if we squabble and one of my guys get you, they gonna.
What is South Memphis?
Rosewood had it.
What is South Memphis? Hey, guess what? I don't know what the hell happened in Rosewood, but South Memphis, they got a movie called First 48, named it after South Memphis. So all that shit you talking about Rosewood, I don't even want to hear. Okay, they got receipts. They got receipts on First 48, Junebug.
Guess what? First 48 was so popular because your population versus the amount of people that were getting killed based on your population at a time. Now, Little Rock, Arkansas, which is right across the line, actually succeeded Memphis in murders for years. Understand that? And then Detroit.
Well, we don't have to get into. We don't have to get into murder capital. You the one tried to one up and talk about what happened in Rosewood.
No, I'm trying to tell you. No, Alan. Understand certain things about Houston that you just don't know. Rosewood in Houston, that community, that neighborhood, is one of the most notorious for crime. I'm just trying to tell you.
Jimmy, I was over there the other day at Triple J's barbecue, and I saw.
That ain't Rosewood.
Hold up.
That's 610. Okay. That's 610.
And it's near it? How far? Can you walk to it from there? Ask me a question.
No. It's a dangerous walk. It's a dangerous.
Jimmy, I can walk to your house. Jimmy, I can walk to your house from there.
It's a green mile, Hatter. It's a green mile.
That's the first time I ever seen a car chase like that in my dang life. Get the hell out of me.
That's where that car was coming from.
And I ain't been over there since.
Guess where that car was coming from? He was coming from over there since. He came from the car wash at Rosewood.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I said I ain't been over there since.
Y'all crazy, man.
So don't brag about Rosewood. I'm not going over there no more.
Hey, man, listen, man. I'm done talking about that. That was a sorry fight. But listen, here's the deal.
Hold on,
Jimmy. I'm trying to keep it in the NBA, but keep it going because I'm going to talk about the Warriors. Keep it going.
Hold on. It got hot in here.
I know it. Hey, he got another Nike. What else? Something else.
I want to remind you guys. Speaking of Rosewood, I want to give a shout out to Melvin Marks and his family. Richard Turk, my classmate from Cashmere High School. He ran track at TCU on the track scholarship. Melvin Marks, you guys may know, we called him Slow-Mo in the grassroots basketball community. And he's the head coach of at Lone Star College, Kingwood, for many years. And, well, his mother, Norma Jean Turk, passed away early this morning. And so I want to give our condolences extend to Melvin Marks, who's watching the show. His son, Shaston Marks, who's a school teacher, watches the Chop Shop on a daily basis. Shout out to them. And our strength is with you guys during this time. There's no script for when a person loses a mother. All we can do is keep yourself busy, and I'll be seeing you guys shortly to and to help provide some laughs in your life. So that's guys, I had looking at my phone and I had text messages coming in from different people just getting the news. I guess it's just now saturating. But Melvin Marks called me early this morning to share that news with me, and I know it's a hell of a feeling because he took care of his mom for the last few years, man. His mom was battling illness. So I knew that's a hell of a fight as a son. So now back to the NBA. The Houston Rockets, while the World Series was taking place, the Rockets, ironically, the first time that a Game 7 took place between two cities, and the basketball teams of the NBA ranks also were battling on the same very night. And Rockets prevailed, came from behind with a glorious fourth quarter rally.
Did you say come from behind?
Yeah, they were losing.
To one of the worst teams in the NBA? Okay, keep going. My bad, keep going.
It's early, Chris. I'm
just saying, it's one of the worst teams in the NBA.
It is one of the worst teams, but they were on the road.
One of the worst teams in the NBA, but keep going.
Let it finish.
And in this game, of course, the Rockets pulled out the win, and James Harden came alive in the fourth. Russell Westbrook and James Harden took care of business. James Harden, 59 points. He joined Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan as have scoring 55 or more points 9 times in their career. Wilt Chamberlain, of course, has the all-time record, which many more than 9. But Kobe is James Harden, the beard is once again in rare air. That was a great performance, pretty efficient from him for his shooting. He got his touch from behind the arc in the process. Remember, he was shooting 15% entering last night's game. You had an all-around effort. The bench produced over 30 points. Daniel House showed up against his former team. And remember, this is the team that cut Daniel House and Austin Rivers. So both of Daniel House, I think, scored 16, 18 points. Austin Rivers got 11 points. So they had incentive built inside of them. And so the 59 points from James Harden, Rockets gave up 158 points. I think 76 in the first half to Washington.
Exactly.
So are you concerned about the Rockets' defense, Robert Hatter?
Not really. Because, the Rockets, they scored 159 points, were the most they've ever scored in a game. You know, all you, Chris being a coach, all you want to do is score one more than the other team anyway. I hope that's how you thought. Okay, but wrong answer. But it was the third highest scoring game in history. Okay, but I saw something last night. It was a great atmosphere. I saw Jay Williams, and I'm beginning to not like Jay Williams a lot. I mean, I didn't like him at Duke, but then every day he opened his mouth and tweet, he's trying to sound like Whitlock or something. So he said,
who I can't stand, Hatter.
Okay, he said everyone talking about James Harden and his 50 points this AM. Why? He said, my takeaway was, as Jimmy, he was Jimmy right here. How the hell did a team that's contending for a world championship give up 158 points? That was Jimmy was trying to say in a minute, to the Wizards. And Bradley Beal chopped back at him and Jimmy and said, because we can hoop. That's why. How about that?
Bradley tripping. How about that?
Jimmy, hey, he said we can hoop. Bradley Beal came back. But you know what, though? But Jimmy, I'm going to show you how biased you are. You text me and said, do you see what Bradley Beal did to James Harden? And I'm sitting there watching the game. I said, what the hell is he talking about? James got 100 damn points. What are you talking about? And then I text and said, great defensive play by Harden. Guess what, y'all? I sent him the receipts. I went to my TV and filmed it and sent it to him. And he still ain't said nothing about it in a crucial part of the game.
Hell, we're not fans of James Harden. You are.
I'm not a fan.
Well,
I'm an admirer. I am an admirer of greatness.
There you go. We're not admirer of his greatness.
Okay.
Your magnitude.
Y'all some haters.
So no.
Just don't say it. You a hater.
No.
Yeah.
If you find haters, yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay.
So that means if
Chris Walker's not. Chris, go ahead. No. Don't speak for Chris.
So upon knowing this, what do you expect us to do if you send a video of him doing well?
Unbelievable.
No. So that proceeds.
I'm not a hater of James Harden. I just say 5 words. Talk to me in June. It doesn't matter what the Rockets do.
It's not June yet. We can't talk to you.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying I don't watch anything that they do. LeBron, listen, I feel the same way about LeBron. Like, it doesn't matter what the Lakers do. I'm a Bron sexual. I get it. Somebody chopped my boy up and called him LeBron James, which is ridiculous that they would even talk about him like that. But LeBron measures himself based on what he does in the June. He don't care about what's going on right now. He's going to be the all-time leading scorer. His nickname ain't going to be all-time. But he got to win championships, man. So all that stuff the Rockets doing, let them keep doing it, man. Because if they want to be him, they got to do it for 20 years.
All I'm saying is, all we can talk about is the game in front of him. Jimmy came on here and talked about AD like he was an AD sexual. He came on here, Robert, that's never in 3 quarters. Oh, my God, Robert.
40 and 20 and 13 quarters?
Yeah.
So 40 and 20 and 3 quarters?
Yeah. Again, hold on.
That won't happen this year. That will not happen again this season. Somebody is going to score 59 points this season.
Somebody's going to score 40 and 20. Remember I told you this. Somebody's going to score 40 and 20 on the Memphis Grizzlies again.
In 3 quarters?
Not in 3 quarters.
And I don't care how many quarters it is.
Yes, it matters. That's a hell of a story right there. In 3
wasn't
quarters.
No story to me, because a few games earlier, his big sorry butt when he saw number 2, when he didn't score a point. When he saw load management 101, he didn't do nothing.
That was the 4th quarter. He still scored 21 or 25 points.
Ain't the 4th quarter part of the game?
Dude, the 4th quarter's been his steez. That's been the plight of Anthony Davis' early career, is his inability to take over in the 4th quarter. So it's continued. It's continued. That's all.
Listen, man. The Lakers gonna be there. Let's talk about the Warriors, man. Let's talk about the Warriors.
What you want to say?
I keep going to y'all about this coaching thing. See, I'm an African American coach. I'm just keeping it 100.
I can't tell. I can't tell.
Oh no, I know. There's a. Don't get me wrong. A lot of that stuff is about positioning. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted.
All right.
When you start talking about who's the better coach and who's not, go to some. It ain't always about the dude that's winning. They just get the praise.
Okay. Finish the story.
All my point is this: is Steve Kerr? He's not a good coach anymore. What's wrong with Steve Kerr? He coach right. He can coach right. Brad Stevens lose his place. He can still coach right.
Is the season?
I've been saying. Can he coach?
Is the season over? Yeah.
Toe off the bone. How about Luke Walton? When he had all the dudes, he was winning, right? He shared the coach of the year. He went to the Lakers, and what happened, Chi? Stop giving these dudes glory. And then what do they do to our man Tyronn Lue? Went to 4 straight championships, and he started struggling a little bit. And what do they do, Hatter? What do they do to your boy Brian Shaw, Hatter?
Ginzu.
What do they do to my man with the Cardinals after 1 year? What do they do to Van Joseph? As Jimmy said, y'all better start what, Jimmy? Paying attention, man. Y'all better start paying attention to what they're doing, these brothers, man.
I totally agree. Chris, listen to this, because you and Jimmy might miss this. I totally agree with you. But I am a Stephen Curry admirer. That's one of my nephews. Right now, I probably won't watch a Warrior game. I ain't no Golden State. I'm not no Golden State Rocket no more. I'm a LA Rocket right now, as in Clipper. Because I learned this from a dude that's sitting in the middle of the screen. As the facts change, the truth changed. The fact is, this big sorry Aaron Baines, whoever he is, who I couldn't stand him in Boston, he came trying to take a charge from the and went up under that guy and flipped the guy and fell his big 300-pound butt on my nephew. I'm furious right now. That's why I went and changed and put on my black, because I know y'all was going to talk about that. Steph, and get what? Steph walked off the court and wasn't even shaking his hand. He just walked off the court, said, man, I'm going to let Aisha take care of this thing when I get to the house. I'm good. Because guess what? I know we're going to be in the lottery now, and that lottery pick we got is protected. So guess what? I get to keep it. We get to keep it.
Man, let me tell you something. Hatter, you sound crazy, because before the year started, what were the Warriors saying, Jimmy? The dynasty is not what?
I said
the dynasty is not what?
Over. I said it too. Stephon Curry. See, hold up, quick, Jimmy. I'm just gonna be quick here, Jimmy. That's why I say you serious. Stephon Curry. That's who number 30. If he's not on that team, I'm not supporting the team.
If he's not on that team, they're not worth watching. What are you talking about? Why would you watch him? Will Cauley-Stein?
No, y'all can talk.
I don't get it.
Jimmy, y'all can talk about him all you want to now. Okay.
They're terrible. They ain't worth talking about. They weren't worth talking about before.
Dude, Steph Curry got in front of the camera just this week after a win in New Orleans and sit there and pushed back against the critique or the criticism that was being sprayed against the Golden State Warriors from mainstream media. So understand, his efforts, as well as Draymond Green, their efforts to push back right then was basically insinuating, hey, y'all tripping. We all right. We play out. Y'all keep on believing. You tend to, as I'm gonna quote Steph, some people tend to pile on whenever a person is down, then they'll pile on and consider them dead. Basically, in other words, saying that we ain't going nowhere. And I understand Steph broke his wrist last night.
No, he did.
They're waiting on the results.
They're
waiting on the results from the MRI.
He broke his fourth or fifth metacarpal bone in his hand, not his wrist.
And so they're waiting on the MRI results been in. They would take one today to give the official timetable for his return. Meanwhile, this game last night, do not let it cloud the fact that Golden State, in the first quarter, they were down 25 points, almost approximately. In the first quarter, Steph Curry goes out in the fourth quarter.
Get to.
So understand something. They were getting their heads beat in at home to the Phoenix Suns. And what happened is the cover story, we understand, because Steph is, the best shooter of all time. But don't forget this. They were getting their butts handed to them at home again. You know, and remember, and one of the stats that came off the paper, Draymond Green, who we have begun to question, because now we're saying, well, Draymond, we know what Steph going to be capable of doing. But Draymond, you've been teetering, you've been buffering for the past last season. So now let's see what you're going to do this season, Draymond.
Jimmy, we have never seen a movie called Robin. The movie's called Batman, okay? Ain't no Robin movies. He's a Robin. He only was good because the other guy. I understand that.
When was he Robin team?
All the other years, he was Robin. He was a version of Robin. Jason Todd.
What's the
Nightwing.
What's the butler name?
Alfred. He was never Batman.
It was KD. First of all, it was Steph and Clay.
KD wasn't there first.
I say Steph and Clay. That's what I just said. At first, it was Steph and Clay. That was Batman and Robin. Then KD came along, and that was a new Batman and Robin. Draymond has always been Alfred. So now we need Draymond.
You call him Alfred? You can't call him Alfred, man. God, come on, Jimmy. That's disrespectful. He's like second team All NBA. You can't call him Alfred.
Was he Master Bruce?
That's Alfred. My point is this. What you guys are finding out is what I've been saying, what the brunsexual of the show has been saying forever. LeBron can take them same dudes that Steph Curry and them can't win with and get to the finals and get to a Western Conference or Eastern Conference championship. LeBron can do that. That's why he's the best. The rest of them clowns can't do that. James Harden can score 60, can't get to the finals. Steph Curry can make threes, can't get to the finals. You guys need to understand what you're looking at. Even Serge Ibaka had Leonard had some dudes with him. Danny Green, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, Siakam. I'm telling you right now, you guys understand the greatness of LeBron by watching these other dudes when they lose dudes, right? When they lose dudes, what they actually can do.
You know what?
What? I'm just telling you.
Can I step in?
Go on, step in. I know what you're about to say.
No, you don't. I promise you don't know, because I gave you ample opportunity to talk about this, and you just few minutes ago, I'm an African-American coach. But you have not mentioned that an African-American coach named Monty Williams, the one probably engineered that ass whooping that they got last night. Monty Williams is the coach for the Suns, and you're not woke enough to understand that. You know what? In your feeble attempt to always talk about LeBron James. Monty Williams got this team playing a lot better than they ever thought about playing if you'd have watched the Phoenix Suns this year. So, and I wanted to bring it to your awareness because you got to know stuff like that.
I will listen, we ain't talking about Monty Williams.
But you just talked about, hold up. You just talked about Steve Kerr, who he went against.
Listen, if I'll be the first one to highlight an African American coach that does well.
All
I'm telling you is Monty Williams ain't done nothing. That's 4 games, bro. Steve Kerr been coach of the year and won 5 championships. I'm sorry, he's more of a story than Monty Williams. I mean, you can think whatever you want, Hatter. In the media, he's more of a story. Steve Kerr's demise is more of a story than Monty Williams' ascension.
Not to me.
I'm just right now. At the 3 games, Adam?
Not to me, baby. No. I've watched that team last year. That team was heavy trash. And guess why I watched that team a lot closer this year? Because we got a young man that Jimmy probably don't claim him, but he did play high school basketball at Bush High School. You follow me? And then went on to Kansas and played. Kelly Oubre, and he was a plus 16 last night, had 11 points. He was 5 or 10 for the field. So, of course, Robert Hatter going to pay attention to Monty Williams and Kelly Oubre. That's just me. It's all good. I'm just telling you. I was just giving you some information because you might have.
We'll see if they make the playoffs. We'll see if they make the playoffs.
Okay.
If who make the playoffs?
The Phoenix Suns.
Stop.
I mean, had to talk about him like he invented. Had to talk about like he invented fire.
No,
so we'll talk about it.
No.
We'll see if they make the playoffs.
Hatter said, Mr. Conscious, Mr. Black Coach over there.
Why you making fun of me? Because I like
but you the one just stuck your chest out. Didn't you stick your chest out just 5 minutes ago? I'm an African American coach.
You're taking my comments out of context. I got no problem with Monty Williams, but I'm saying he hasn't done anything yet.
Jimmy,
he beat a depleted Warriors team.
Jimmy, hold my beer.
Depleted Warriors team. He didn't beat the Warriors at full tilt. He beat a depleted Warriors team. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, but
guess who else he beat?
Speaking of
he beat the Clippers too. Hold on. Stop. Jimmy. He beat the Clippers too. The same Clippers who who beat the team with the greatest player in the history of the game on it the other day. He beat that team.
Undefeated. This show's not called undefeated. The NBA is not about being undefeated, bro.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Go on, Jimmy. Get him, Jimmy. Will you wake him up? Because he said, I'm not woke. Please wake that up.
Speaking of depleted teams, the Utah Jazz knocked off the Clippers last night, minus Kawhi Leonard. Load management. This is the first implementation of load management for him. Only 5 games into the season, y'all. Now, the reason is for this. They said the Clippers. I guess they acknowledged that they informed, because they have rules in the NBA. Adam Silver implemented to all of the teams in order to avoid a fine. Then they must inform them that a star player will not be playing under the tag of load management. Because Doc Rivers in the presser says that Kawhi was very healthy, had never been in better shape. And so afterwards, there's a deal. The reason that Kawhi Leonard didn't play last night and this was a nationally televised game, is that the NBA has a back-to-back for the Clippers. They will be playing again tonight in a game that he really, obviously, by his actions, he really wants to play in. And that's what it is. They play the San Antonio Spurs for the first time this season as a Clipper. And this is he really, obviously, if he didn't want to play against the Spurs, he would have played last night. And so that's why there was no Kawhi Leonard last night. And meanwhile, that doesn't take away from the fact that Donovan Mitchell and Michael Conley, we finally got a Michael Conley sighting after scoring, I think, 1 or 2 points the other night. He had 29 points. Dwight Spider had 24. That's 53 points from that backcourt in the win. And the Clippers were never in this game after the first quarter. It was just, it was ugly on that part. And this was a game, guess what? Utah was supposed to win this game. And we keep saying without Kawhi.
They don't have Paul George either, though.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people is forgetting that Paul George is set to make his debut soon for the Clippers as well. And then even so, you got to give it another 2 weeks after he comes in to get him back in basketball speed.
Jimmy, I got a question. How do you guys feel about today's NBA players not being able to play 82 games? Because back in the day, MJ played 82, Magic played 82, and now they want to shorten the season, Hatter. Why do you think that's happened? Now, I think because of AAU, because guys play so much basketball before they get to the league. They're playing in the Olympics, which I think is crazy to me that they don't get paid for because it's shortening their careers for the guys that do. The finals, or a guy like LeBron has played it probably in 22 seasons already based on all the playoffs he's been through, or the finals. Why do you think the players, or do you think now that they've also shortened up back-to-backs? It's not going to be back-to-backs anymore. They got private planes. They got all the luxury in the world. Do you think these guys are being, and they're making 5 times, 10 times more money, Hatter?
First of all, Chris, being on a private plane, it allows you to do certain things, but If you remember about the sleep problem that these guys had, sleeping on a plane is not good for you, Chris. So so it's just, Chris, it's just a different game. The bodies are bigger, the bodies are faster. A long time ago, Chris, we didn't have no Zion Williamson. Guys can jump that high. A lot of guys. The bodies are bigger and the bodies are faster. So when the collisions happening, you can get hurt a lot quicker. So it's just a lot of things that goes on with the game. The game is different now. The game is just different.
Dudes was fighting back in the day.
No, we ain't talking about fighting. We're not talking about fighting. We talking about constant, we didn't have big 7-foot guys running up and down the floor like the way these guys can. We'll change. We used to have to wait on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to get down the floor. Y'all don't remember that? Go back and look at the videos. Magic said, man, come on, man. We had to wait to him to get down the floor. So, like I said, the bodies are moving a lot bigger. The bodies are bigger and faster, and they're playing in the same confines. What's that 50 by 94? So you got bigger bodies, the same space that you played when them little old bitty dudes was back there, and Bob Cousy and all them little guys. It wasn't as many bigs back then, Jim, Chris. I mean,
but let me ask you a question. You don't think it has anything to do with the tread? So a tire, you can't replace tread on a tire. I think AAU basketball has changed the landscape because a lot of these guys are playing far more basketball younger than those guys back in the day played. Even the Jordans,
that could be it.
Like they played. So like, think about a kid from the 8th grade. I'm sorry. Think about a kid from the 5th grade all the way up to when he graduated high school. How much basketball he didn't play? Do you think that has, or football with CTE, how many hits these dudes have taken before they actually make it to the NFL? Is that a reason why the NFL lifespan is 3 years? Because they've taken too many hits by the time they get there. What do you think, Adam?
I'm not sure. All I know is, I mean, at some point, I would like to hear from the boom boom room. Because I mean, Chris, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the data. I don't have all the data, but I know if you got bigger, faster, stronger guys moving in the same space, you know, that's just common sense to me. You're gonna be often injured. But on the boom boom room, Stacy asked a question. I don't know why he wanted to know this one, but he said he got a question for y'all. Have the three co-hosts on the Chop Shop ever agreed on any topic on this show? I would like to say we don't, because we come through from 4 different backgrounds, 4 different places, and if we all agreed for the same thing, then we don't need it. We don't need each other. We all the same. So if we all agree, if a person around me all the time agreeing, I don't want his ass around me. So
we don't do this. We don't talk about what we're going to agree.
Yeah, we don't practice this.
We don't practice this.
And to people who don't know, I love when these guys disagree with me, because guess what? I love trying to get my point across to them. I know they don't listen to me, but I still try to get my point across. So I think it's a great thing. I am so proud just to be on I wouldn't trade these 2 guys for anybody else. I'll put it like that. But we did used to agree to go to Philadelphia. Thank you, Ty Home. We did agree.
And Stacey, I don't agree with you either. How about that? Just so you know, Stacey, I don't know what topic we and I agreed on. How about that?
And Sharif says his Spurs are 3-0, and the question is, and I have for you, Sharif, will your Spurs be 3-0 after tonight?
Didn't y'all tell me something about the Spurs? Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad.
No,
my bad. Keep on. My bad.
Hey, hold on now, Chris. On behalf of...
was I not supposed to say that? I thought it was a Chop Shop.
That little point guard who missed all last season.
That little point guard? Whatever that point guard.
He's playing his best basketball right now. Even though he's,
I'm not in there with y'all, man. I'm not
undefeated, boy. Undefeated, boy.
Remember the OJs? I really miss you. And when are you coming back home? Y'all
something else, man.
You guys don't know we're talking inside joke. It's public news. DeJounte Murray the point guard of the San Antonio Spurs. He and one of the young ladies from Houston that we know, a brother was a star basketball player here, and he's in college right now. I don't want to say his name, but they were a couple. And she's very popular Instagram model. I have over followers. And they broke up last season, earlier this year, and now she has united her relationship with Deshaun Watson of the Houston.
I can't believe you sit up there and told that story.
Man, it's public news, man.
Public news.
They just friends. They just friends.
They got a relationship.
This is the Chop Shop.
If you out on Halloween together on Halloween, Halloween is the only holiday that you don't have a Halloween Eve. You can't go with the side piece on Halloween Eve. That's the only holiday.
No. Valentine's Day either.
No, you can go before. You can go right before.
No, but that's the only you can go before if you want to, but it ain't on Valentine's Day. Try and see Samuel peel your head back.
No, I'm good. He said she'll peel your head back. And so now we shift gears now. We're at a great time of the day. We got more NBA news. Like I said, starting on Monday, we'll go around the home, a lot of the NBA games, and share with you guys we'll give a starting 5 each day of Texas-based players, because the Chop Shop is based in the great state of Texas. So who are excelling the most on a nightly basis in the NBA game. And like we mentioned, Phoenix Suns a while ago, Kelly Oubre is a starter for the Phoenix Suns, and he poured in 10 points in that win over Golden State. But that's just one example. Now, Chris, you weren't here yesterday.
Jimmy, before you go into that, real quick, KD was on the first take today. He said that the Draymond spat was a factor in him. Before we pivot from the NBA, he said that Draymond spat was a factor in him leaving the Warriors.
You know what that means? You know what that means? You know what that means? That means people that leaked it out and said it took hits from the Golden State Warriors as saying, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. See, this is an example how the media take hits and they keep score. Those little nerdy looking guys, most of them are predominantly white, the coalition, we know that. But they keep tabs. It ain't no, when you attack people and make them think that they don't know what the hell they talking about, and they're sitting right there in earshot, or they got their plugs. Now only to find out that they were right on the money from day one of this story. Now, because KD, well, first of all, Draymond actually leaked it out first. Remember, Draymond's comment indirectly about when he gave the story about the general manager and his relationship with the GM and how he went, and the GM wanted him to go and apologize. So basically, Draymond opened up the conversation. KD goes live with Stephen A. and Lil Williams, and he just fills the blanks. So now KD gets the jacket for spilling the beans on it, when that ain't really the truth. Draymond opened this up. KD on some other stuff right now. Now, the best time of this, the best thing about this situation is Draymond. Is he going to get this jacket? Can he play anywhere else? He just took a bag, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a bag. I don't know why he gave it to him.
He up next year, Jimmy.
Oh, he up next year.
He up next year.
Ooh.
He can re-up. He got an option next year.
I'm looking at Draymond Green and this relationship. Remember now, he said with his own mouth, talking about that's me of a different type of dynamic, me and the GM of the Golden State Warriors. I can't think of his name. How do you know his name? And so this reminds
Bob Myers.
Don't this remind you of how the conversation and the theme of the conversation back when the season at week 0 of the NFL season, how it was sounding like with Dak Prescott and his relationship with Jerry Jones? Think about it. So now going into the season, now all of a sudden Jerry Jones, in case you missed the guy, Jerry Jones camp releases, he goes on the local radio station in Dallas every week, one of the affiliates up there, and he says that Dak's camp need to be a little bit more understanding and be to work with him a little bit.
About the guy that's got the highest QBR right now in the league, that guy, #1 in QBR.
The guy that won't get the money that he's commanding. Remember, he said 30 million was too low at the beginning of the season. He said he wanted 35, but insinuated
he's number one in QBR. How about this? 5 black quarterbacks. Did y'all see outside the lines yesterday? The top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL in QBR are all African Americans, and Dak is #1. Wow. But if Carson Wentz was the #1 guy, if Ryan Goff was the #1 guy,
that's because they got the number. That's because they got the #1 rating. Because neither one of them guys are better than Tom Brady. Just because they got the top rating don't mean nothing, Chris.
I agree, but Hatter, when you're at a negotiating table, you use things to be like, yo, he's the #1 at this, he's #1 at that. Y'all need to pay him. If those guys are #1, people will be doing 9 million stories on this thing. It will be on the news feed forever.
And head-to-head against Carson Wentz, he has beat him. He got a better record against Carson Wentz.
So what I'm saying is, if Tony Romo was doing what Dak Prescott's doing, they would have already, gave him a piece of the franchise already.
Of course.
What are we talking about then?
Well, I don't know what Jimmy, why you bring up them sorry ass Cowboys, man?
Why you gotta talk about the Cowboys, man?
I mean, Jimmy, they ain't nothing to talk about.
Game Monday night. We playing Monday night MetLife.
Chris, me and you got the.
Yeah, you better make sure I'm straight. You tell Little Robert.
No, me and you got to pick the day. It's Thursday, Chris.
Man, I'm going to the game on Monday. I don't care about what you're talking about.
I ain't worried about the game. I'm talking about me and you got to pick the day because I whooped Jimmy last week.
Whoa, he beat you, Jimmy?
Beat him like he stole something from Macy's.
You missed it, man. Guess what? We got a rule that wasn't official and is misinterpreted.
Chris.
Monday Night Football. How many points is Monday Night Football, Chris, worth?
Chris.
What?
How many points is Monday Night Football is supposed to break the
2 points.
No. Chris.
It's a tie.
Chris, the score was 8-6. We go Monday Night Football.
Not a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker is 7-7.
No. If it's 7-6, Hatter, we got to break the tie. Somebody got to get.
I had 8-6. 8-6. 8. Chris, read my lips. 8-6.
Oh, going into Monday night.
Yeah, ass whooping. 8-6.
Go on, Jimmy. Next point. Lead us to the level.
Of course, while you were out, Chris, of course, the news about the NCAA and their decision to jump, and reverse their sentiment and decide that and pave the road for student athletes to be compensated for their likeness. And I'm quite sure a lot of stuff has been unveiled, and after we shared our thoughts on the topic yesterday and day before in the Chop Shop, we haven't got your take on this topic. I'm quite sure you've spoken with several people in the NCAA, coaches and or employees. What's your thoughts on the NCAA's recent decision?
It's real simple, but obviously it's still fresh, man. It's still fresh for guys. I do agree. You know what's funny? They put Mitt Romney on TV yesterday. It was on MSNBC. They interviewed Mitt Romney, and I'm telling you, Mitt Romney didn't have one damn clue about what he was talking about.
Did you hear what he said?
He didn't have.
Did you hear his quote?
I encourage people to go Google that on YouTube and look at that interview. I'm sitting there going like, what is he talking about?
Did you hear them quotes? That man said, we don't want one kid riding around with a Ferrari and the rest of the kids ain't. Did you hear what Marcus Johnson said?
No, what did he say?
Marcus Johnson said one of his teammates, I forgot who he was. He was riding around in a Rolls Royce, and we didn't have man at UCLA.
I mean, it's ignorant. Like some of these congressmen, I get it, but they don't talk to coaches. They don't talk. They're trying to posture and they're trying to. They know that the NCAA is an easy win because they don't win any lawsuits, right? They don't have any. They really don't. They're an antitrust that's functioning, and they're taking advantage of kids because kids don't want to lose their eligibility fighting things. Kids want to go to school, and the NBA is the allure. So what happens is I don't want to give my eligibility for something I probably could fight and win for because I'll never get to play, right? That's what's happening right now. But aside from that, and I agree with Jay Billis. All they're trying to do is just, slow them down right now, slow the congressman down. They're just trying to slow it down so they can figure it out. Let's agree, take some time, see how we're going to figure it out. They're going to put all types of guardrails around it, right? And the legislature going to come back and clap on them again, because now that they've opened the door. See, sometimes you just can't open the door. You can't open the door. I don't want to say what certain things do, but you can't open the door. I watched something on the Breakfast Club that blew me away. I don't know if you guys know Byron Allen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Byron Allen. They used to have that little corny show, Byron Allen show.
He came up.
He's a power player.
Major power player. I watched him on the Breakfast Club. I encourage everybody to go watch that interview. Mm-hmm. And he is making a movie by Coretta Scott King. Mm-hmm. And he said there's two things. He said there's four things, but I don't want to get too preachy. But to me, it's in line with what's going on with the NCAA. He said, in a lot of ways, we were better off in slavery than we were in Jim Crow. When I listened, I said, what? You mean we're better off in slavery than we were in Jim Crow? He says, in slavery, we were their property. We made money for them. The minute Jim Crow came, we became their competition, right? We became the competition. When we're making money for them, we built this country. We were supposed to make people rich. We weren't supposed to become rich. The minute we started becoming rich, it was a problem. So the same thing with the NCAA. As long as they're playing and they're running around and they're getting scholarships and everybody's singing the song at the end of the Final Four, the one shining moment, everybody cool with it. The minute we say, well, hold on, if these guys are making billions of dollars, they should share in it, we got a problem with it. And I said it from day one. 60 to 70% of the kids we're talking about are kids that look like the three guys on this screen. And if you listen to Mitt Romney, which I took offense to, he says these poor kids. How many times say these poor kids that come from nothing?
A million
these
times.
These poor kids. Well, we're saying these poor kids. Why are we only sharing in the likeness? Why aren't we sharing the revenue if we're talking about these poor kids? We don't say these poor kids when it comes to the NFL. Well, we still want to maintain student athlete. Why? Let's make it a fair market value. Then another guy says, well, if that's the case, if guys are going to be millionaires, let's make them claim their scholarships as taxes. Okay, you want to do that, that's fine.
That's
so
good.
If I'm an athlete, hey, man, you know what? That's fine. Charge me for that. But let me make part of them billions that y'all get for them TV deals. Make it. I'll claim it as taxes. You claim it against my taxes. But I'm going to make this couple million because you guys are making all the money. See, people don't want to, as Jimmy says, you got to follow the money. If I tell you that LSU football made $147 million, and I say, well, they got 80 dudes on scholarship, time what that costs to go to the school, and then you talk about what jobs they actually get when they graduate. What's the average salary of a graduate from LSU? And based on how much money they make per year in football, there's no way any person on this earth could be like, they don't deserve to get paid. It doesn't make sense. It's unfair. It's an unfair system. That's why, think about this, Adam. If it wasn't unfair, why is every state legislature jumping on top of it? Because it's unfair. But it's funny. We never have a, think about, Jay Billis made another point, which I agree with. I remember when they were talking about cost of attendance, give them that stipend. They say it'll never work. All the Olympic sports will be gone. It'll kill female sports. I don't see them cutting sports. 5 years later, guess what? Everything's still going smooth. It will go smooth again. It's a scare tactic. The bottom line is they don't want to do what? Share, guys. We talked about basketball-related income. For years, Hatter, the owners what? Didn't share with the players, correct? That's what the players fought for in the CBA. And look what happened. Salary skyrocketed. Has anybody complained? No. But these kids, they're not pros, but they're in the same situation as pros. They play in front of more teams. They play for more sold-out arenas than the NBA guys, some of them.
And the kids don't have a union.
Right.
To speak on their behalf.
Well, because they're amateurs. They attempted to do it with the Northwestern football players about 5 years ago when they had a class action suit. They were attempting to go against the NCAA, and it got dissolved and got defeated. And that was the closest thing because you're trapped up under the rules of amateurism. And that's the thing. And a lot of people, see, the thing that happened, and I said it, I hit it on the nose yesterday. Once this problem started to affect people that have ties and relations or with people in power that have a position or a perch that can extinguish this fire. That's when it started to take growth. As we see, a lot of congressmen are former student athletes. You know, understand, mind you, they could have been done this. One of the most prominent student athletes to go into Congress, and that was 2 decades ago, was J.C. Watts. The former
he on the other side.
Yeah, but still, this is a bipartisan. One thing about what side Mitt Romney on?
Other side, but I think he's trying to get some glory points.
Yeah, this is bipartisan. This is totally bipartisan.
Jimmy, I think you, because I know you said that a couple of times, but you got to realize now, the NCAA, they got lobbyists up there in DC too, okay? And those lobbyists, you got to remember what you said, Chris. There's no permanent friends, no permanent interests. It's just, no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interests. And you got to realize these guys, and this what I always look at, Chris, is I look at these guys. Let's say I put myself in those people's position. I've been used to doing this stuff this way for how many years? 100 years. Now change is hard. Chris, it's hard for you to change. It's hard for Jimmy to change. It's hard for all of us to change immediately. This thing in the future and soon we'll get. I'm just talking about, Jimmy said something yesterday. We were just talking about how hard it is even just to have a summer event and be sanctioned. And the hoops that the NCAA takes to put these people through just to give a tournament in the summer. And then I looked last night, these dudes can't decide whether the NCAA, the people who trying to control this thing, Chris, they can't even decide whether or not a kid is eligible or not. They got 49 kids, they're still pending whether they, so they can't even get that right. They can't even do that.
No, they can do it if they want to. And the question is, why did this guy get it and that person don't? Sometimes they need you to send information. Sometimes they're never going to do it. It's all politics.
Chris, they haven't done it. That's the point I'm trying to make.
It's all politics.
So now you expect them, now this same NCAA got to come in, and you know, and Jimmy, if you read further in that article, they said, wait a minute now, this ain't going to be the way. We're going to put some caps on these things. We're going to have to do this. Like, let's say Duke. I said that yesterday. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you about. I'm just rehashing this stuff. They going, man.
But just because they've brought some legislation don't mean that doesn't mean that the state legislator or the federal government is going to comply. That's just the NCAA doing their thing. That don't mean nothing. It don't mean it's going to be the law of the land. But you know what? You had it 2 weeks ago, or we'll never do it. This will never happen. Then what happened? They lose. I keep telling everybody, they lose
Chris,
every
you're
time.
Not hearing. Chris, they've been going the same way. If you've been used to, I don't want to say that. If you've been used to doing something a long time, and it's your way, and you run this stuff, you gonna say the same thing. It'll never happen. I'm not that. Until somebody said, okay, but California, they're scared the heck out them people, man.
Just California, man.
No. Because you know why I said they always keep talking about it, mentioning California. That's the point. These other states following, but they always reference California for a reason. You got to remember, California. This California brought down the car industry. Not bring them down. Told them, look at here. Because they was talking about the new emission standards. Talking about California, you better have this stuff because y'all got too much smog in y'all city. California said, well, then y'all just can't sell y'all cars in California. And guess what? The car industry complied. That's how big and important. You talking about these other states. California, man, is bad.
I get you. So what I'm saying is, if parents actually knew, when we do recruiting visits, you think we tell people how much money we make? You think we tell people how much money that the basketball and football programs generate? I guarantee you there's not one parent, let me finish, that knows how much money these universities generate. They don't know. They have no clue.
And if you was a parent and wasn't a coach, you wouldn't know either.
Okay, but my point is we're in a different era. Well, guess what we're doing at the Chop Shop? We're giving them the answers to the tests. Ask the questions.
So what the parent can do? Tell me.
Tell me what a parent
can do with that information.
Let me finish. Not the parent, the parents. Now, guess what? They got a portal now with this new law, with the likeness. Hopefully, they can get some of the revenue. Now that this is in place, they can ask those questions and be like, you know what? I want to go to that school. Now, this is what the NCAA is going to do. They're going to say, well, you can make money off your likeness, but it can't be used in recruiting. How the hell is it not going to be used in recruiting? That don't even make sense. Think about what I just said, Howard. Penny gonna say, look, man, you come to Memphis, we got 18,000 every game. But not only that, when you go on Beale Street, they gonna think you play for they gonna treat you like you play for the Grizzlies. You know why? Because of your likeness. But if you take your butt over to I don't want to say any other schools, they gonna be like, how they gonna treat you there? That's recruiting,
Hey, Chris.
That's recruiting. Chris, that's what's going to happen.
Hey, Chris. I guess college sports is so much more appealing to people because it's some Grizzlies right now can walk on Beale Street and can't even get in the club. Can't even get in the club for free.
That's what I'm trying to tell. I don't know about that though.
Well, Come on. One of the things.
What club is that on Beale Street? I've been to Beale Street.
I'm gonna give you a true story.
Okay.
In Miami, when Dwayne Wade was a rookie.
That might be true.
He was standing in the line trying to get in the club. And we went in and told Shaq. Shaq went back out and got it. So guess what?
He got to get an MVP. I guarantee you if he got that MVP, he could get in.
But he was on the team. It wasn't but 13 people, 14, 15 people on the team. And they didn't even know him.
But I remember watching, Jimmy, the Hurricane, what was that thing, 30 for 30, when Michael Irvin and those guys said they should be able to get in the club. They had to get the Dolphins in. That's how popular the Hurricanes were.
They were popular.
Right. So, anyway.
Memphis Grizzlies not popular. But keep going. Miami wasn't popular back then. Come on.
Right. Of course, understanding the question, people right now at this point, just even with Mitt Romney, people are under the impression that this rule will only benefit the top 1% or 1/10 of the 1%. That's not totally true at all. It will benefit those the most, but the opportunity for anybody to earn off their likeness is alike and equal for all. That's the thing that a lot of people aren't grasping. Let me give you guys an example. A lot of people that are advertising right now in today's society, just like on the Chop Shop, you're watching right now. This is a digital platform that you guys who are watching digitally, this is where we are, YouTube, Facebook. Well, advertisements come on the screen and you can advertise based on the following base of certain kids. Let's say, for example, every year there's going to be some kid that's going to have a lot of Twitter followers. Every year, no matter what. Some is going to be, it's not going to be Zion or Alonzo Ball or LeAngelo Ball, but it's going to be somebody every year. Right now, let's take this kid in 2023, Amani Bates. I don't know how many followers Amani Bates have.
22, Jim. He's 22.
2022. I'm sorry. I don't know how many followers he has, but guess what? What if, look, let's say Amani Bates buddy, they would take on that's not a major Division I prospect. If he's the buddy and I'm the owner of the chicken wing hut in his city, and I'm gonna give him a deal to wear my stuff and my apparel, because everywhere they go, he's gonna be a sidekick right with him. You got to see my stuff when you see him in the picture. Those are little bitty opportunities. The opportunity exists. If you're in Houston, Texas, and somebody that owns a turkey leg hut, if there's a recruit that's going to U of H or TSU, you don't think that little kid can benefit with an extra $1,000 or a couple of $1,000 on a couple of billboards or put their face in the menu? It don't take much to print new menus in a restaurant. It's about getting creative. Think about it. Put it like this. A kid in your city.
He got 12,000 followers. He got 12,000.
12,000?
On what's that? Twitter.
And that's going to double in the next year. Quadruple probably in the next year after high school season. Now, think about this. Every kid in the country, this is where it comes in good. The people that get innovative is going to find ways to capitalize for the common folk. Here's how it goes. A kid now will have the opportunity to be able to sell his cell phone messages to companies. For example, you're a college and you call a kid. Guess what? They have your business as a voice message now. And those are the type of opportunities that will. So I also tell you how to. I mean, you can get your thoughts on it. Something is not. We having some audio difficulties.
No, that's you. Now Chris can pop. Every time Chris pop off the screen, we have a problem with you. So, but we got it back now. Chris pop off the screen.
That's what I was basically insinuating. So, guys, the opportunity. This is not just for the big fish. The opportunity is still there. Don't you think Matrix Mac now? Matrix Mac, as much as he loved University of Texas, that's big. He also loves his local schools. Somebody can be able to get on one of them billboards, and he advertised more than any business in Houston. Think about the opportunity now. That's what happens. Everybody thinking about home runs and thinking about getting a $1 million endorsement deal. No, we talking. This whole thing comes from the fact these young kids or student athletes that can't afford to just basic stuff.
Hey, Brishon Bashir. Well, you know I love when women comment, Jimmy. She said everybody's worth something to somebody. She said you get what you negotiate. I like that. She been watching movies.
Yeah.
And guys, go on.
Money basically never see college. Hey, guess what? He may not never see college. Maybe not, depending on what the collective bargaining agreement does. And even so, they'll have other mechanisms that we have. Of course, if this thing goes well for R.J. Hampton and LaMelo Ball, meaning that they're both getting the lotto as expected, or even in the first round it goes well, which is all signs point right now towards the plane landing really good for them, then it will open the door for other people to follow suit. Now, you think United States want some of their best prospects to go and fly the coop and go into other countries? No. So what they're going to do, they're going to find a way to try to make other amenities. This G League program, remember that G League program that's headed by Rod Strickland, right, is still in place right now. This was the first year. They didn't land anybody of note in that program. They were offering $150,000. But I think the marketing, they were a little bit too late launching that thing and getting it out there and circulating, it just sounded like a trap to a lot of people. Because obviously, if you're that good, I guess the opportunities expand way greater than $150,000.
Hey, Jimmy, let me read something from the Boomer Room. Andrew Verdejo says, I'm curious for Walker and Hatter. I'm a director at Hatter. How does this decision change or affect the future in terms of college coaching, recruiting, and agents, or will it have no change? Like, how does it affect you guys, Hatter?
It won't affect us. What happened, we have to get, if this rule come in effect, we'll just, it's according to what, first of all, the agents, and I know my firm, we're not going to deal with them guys that Jimmy talking about. We're going to try to deal with the 1%. Okay, that's what we're going to try to deal with. And but if it's an opportunity, what it's going to do is, let's say, and I would say, a marketing company, I think it's going to me, it's going to make their importance a lot better, because they are already have relationships with the vendors or the you know, with the endorsers, and they already have. It's a marketing company already has a relationship with Mattress Mac. You follow me? It's a marketing company already has with these guys out here. So it's gonna behoove guys like me to line myself up with marketing people so I can bring these deals to these top guys. But if I was a young person, I would get somebody. If I was let's say a local person here who might not be an NFL athlete, might not be he gonna need people just to look over his deal. He gonna need, so then I have to figure out, do I want to help some of these guys around here help with their deals? I mean, I don't know, Chris, but I'm looking at it. We're having meetings on it. Chris, I'm gonna tell you what's so unique. Yesterday, you wasn't on the show. When that clickbait popped up there the other day saying you're gonna get paid for your likenesses, do you know some kids in this area contacted some graphic designers to get their logos, prepare their logos for the future? They contact them and say, man, this is my logo. This. Hey, man, if this coach, you got to realize people think this thing going to happen right now. These kids are preparing that if they, you know, if I go pro, I'm going to have.
First of all, that's smart.
Yes.
If it is the case, it's smart. Mm-hmm. Second of all, it goes to show you that. Let me answer Angel's question about the coaches. College basketball, I've said this for a long time, it's the same as the NFL. The Nationals just showed last night. They don't have Bryce Harper, which is considered one of the top 2 players in the MLB. And they won the World Series. You understand how all those points you made, they had one of the best players in the league. He's not there anymore. They win the World Series. Antonio Brown's the best wide receiver in football. Have we talked about him the last couple of weeks? It's going on.
You know what?
Same thing's going on in college basketball.
Guess why we've not been talking about him? He ain't been playing football, Chris. The reason we talk about him because he's a football player.
I understand that, but my point is, things move on, man. Even if things move on. You're not the reason it's happening. The reason why I'm saying is that in college basketball, when some of these players are going to the G League and all that stuff, they still gonna play games. They still gonna have championships. They still gonna be a Big 12 champion. They're still gonna be an All-American team. People are coming to see the teams regardless because they're cheering for their university. Half the times the kids don't even know the difference who they watching.
You know what I like about the rule? Me personally, I like about the rule, and I've never really expressed this, is that it does allow the regular guy, not the not 1%, this guy, because he ain't gonna have but this 4-year window to make this money. Okay? And it allows this young man or this young lady to, if you're on a swim team, you can go get swim lessons without nobody around. You can have your own YouTube site. If you're popular enough, you can, and YouTube can pay you. Twitter can pay you for your tweets. It allows these young people might not ever play in professional sports, Chris and Jimmy, but it allows those kids, Jimmy always said, the opportunity to make and build a little of their fortune before they get out of college. I said that's what I love about the rule. I ain't talking about what you about to say. I said that's what I love about the rule.
Right, and I'm echoing your point by saying, why do we always say when they get out of college? There's people that are making money that go to college. So my point is, if in America, if you have a skill, we pay you for it. Why is it when you go to college that you can't get paid for it? Why can't you get paid for both? If your skill is making billions of dollars, why can't you get paid for it?
But your skill, when you leave that school in them 4 years, and if you don't go to the NFL, your skill don't apply anymore, Chris.
Completely agree. So what I'm saying is we always want to stop it. Well, you should only make money when you go to the pros. They making the schools pro money.
No, make money now. That's why I say
they making the schools pro money.
I love it.
And so if God bless you to be a dancer, there are entertainers out there that can only sing. They can only sing. They're great singers. They're great crooners. And then there's Beyonce that can do both.
I got a question for you, both of y'all. Let's say Jimmy go to school. Jimmy played baseball, but you know he's terrible, so he ain't gonna go pro. But Jimmy was a hell of a guitar player. Okay? Jimmy go to college, and people calling Jimmy is a student athlete, though. He's a student athlete, and Jimmy is like Led Zeppelin on that guitar. And people calling Jimmy, man, I need you to come in for this session and want to pay him. Jimmy can't take that money.
No, Jimmy can.
Not if you're a student athlete.
Oh, if you're a student athlete, no.
I told you don't listen to me. I told you to listen to me. I said Jimmy go to TSU. Oh, not TSU. Let's send him to somewhere better. Jimmy go to Texas. Jimmy go to Texas. You know why I love Texas? Because they got the Puff Fund. Texas is my favorite school right now. Because the Puff Fund. I love the Puff Fund. But Jimmy go to Texas. But Jimmy is like Led Zeppelin. I mean, every studio session, Michael Jackson, everybody, Jay-Z said, Jimmy, I want you to play on my tracks. Jimmy can't take that money, Chris, because of that student athlete thing.
Can't take it. But if another kid who played.
A regular student who go to the university.
I got one better for you.
Okay.
A regular student that's a really good student that got a scholarship from the school academically. He can take it. And he's getting a scholarship to go free, Jimmy. He can take it. But the guy that plays sports can't take it. Come on, man. Y'all pay attention. Pay attention is all I'm telling you. Pay attention.
Paying attention, but what can you do about it?
You know what? We need to get on with these legislators. You know what? Why hasn't Texas come to the party yet? What Texas waiting on?
Understand,
right, Jimmy? What Texas waiting on, Jimmy?
Texas can't get a shot clock. So you got to worry about a shot clock first. In Texas.
Oh my God!
Remember, California has a shot clock. Texas don't. See the big difference.
Jimmy, Melvin Dews, man, something wrong with him, man.
Yeah.
Melvin Dews, he said a word on the street is to see what is going to be Pastor Wilson.
Somebody gonna be Pastor Wilson.
Do you know somebody told me I mentioned Pastor Wilson the other day? Somebody said, no, I said, you know, there's a pastor out there doing stuff to them young girls. Get what somebody said. What his name? I know something like that.
Cookie Monster.
What his name?
They got them church cookie monsters. Them pastors that be after them.
Hey, Chris, y'all been, excuse me, people in y'all industry been cookie monsters long enough, so everybody else can be a cookie monster too. Because people in this basketball industry, oh my goodness.
Hold on. You trying to tell me they didn't start at the church? Them and the deacon board and the pastors, man, you lost your mind, man. Come on, man.
Jimmy,
we didn't get them picks out the way.
Let's go, Jimmy. Come on, let me tear his head off.
So, of course, guys, you know it's that time of the day, and of course, the NFL picks. And we have for this week Chris Walker and Robert Haller going straight up at it. You guys can help them with your thoughts for the NFL game this weekend. And tonight, San Francisco plays at Arizona.
Hey, Jimmy, before you go there, you know what I don't like about you? You announced those records early in the season when I didn't have no win. Jimmy sat there and, well, Hatter's undefeated. Hatter ain't won one yet. And, you know, I was waiting on you to just, boy, you ain't, no, let me tell you something. Oh, but come on, let's go. I announced it myself. I'm going to be like Jimmy.
Hatter's record is 2-3 on the season.
Oh,
thank you.
And Chris, your record is 2-3 on the season.
I'm about to. What's your record?
What you 3-1? What you 2-1? 2-1? 3-1.
Let me see. If 2-3, I lost 1. 2-3, 2-3. If you add 1 over there, that's 7. I'm 3.
What kind is that, Bugs Bunny, man?
What kind of
Looney Tunes, man? 1 for you, 1 for me, 2 for you.
Chris, as a statistician, the losing column must always equal the win column. So that's how I can tell how many mine is. I only lost 1 game, 1 week. So it's 7. That means I'm 3-1.
You took 1 week off. You took 2 weeks off. How many weeks you take off?
Still, though, the winners got to equal the losers, Chris.
I understand that.
That's good mathematics. Now tonight, San Francisco at Arizona. Frisco is undefeated, 7-0. How about Arizona? They're winning right now. They're winning ways, and the Arizona Cardinals are 3-4.
Ain't played nobody.
Game.
Who's up? Just give me the line.
Hey, Frisco by 10.
Oh, well,
I'm Frisco.
Arizona.
I'm Frisco.
Whose turn is it? What you doing?
Mine. I won.
Oh, okay, go on. He got Frisco. Next game, that's fine. I think the Cardinals gonna play them close. So keep it going.
You say play them close. They're giving up 10 points.
I know they got to play them close. They can't lose by 10. Keep going.
Okay, next up, Houston and Jacksonville are playing in London.
Oh, wow.
The Texans are giving up 1 point.
Oh, I'll take Jacksonville. Deshaun Watson's eyes jacked up. He got that new piece of meat. I don't know. I'll give him.
Chris, you got one more ignorant outburst like that.
The New York Jets, Miami. New York Jets is giving up 3 points.
Say it again, Jimmy. I didn't hear it.
The Jets at Miami. The Jets are giving up 3.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Miami on this one.
Okay, next up, Washington at Buffalo. Buffalo is giving up 9.5.
Ooh, oh man. At some point, Washington's got to play better. But I'm going with Buffalo. Blow them out. At home, they're gonna beat the snot out of them. Keep going.
Minnesota at Kansas City. Pick 'em.
It's a pick 'em.
Minnesota at Kansas City. Is my boy gonna play?
No, he's not back yet.
What's the teams again?
Minnesota
at Kansas City.
6-2.
I'm going to Kansas City.
Kansas City, that's 5-3.
That's a good bet. I'll take that. Matt Moe, please give me a break. I'll take that.
Chicago at Philadelphia. Philly giving up 5.
Philly giving up 5. I think Chicago's gonna beat them. I'm taking the Bears.
The Colts at the Steelers, and it's a pick 'em.
That's me?
Yeah.
Colts at the Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers.
Okay. Next up, Tennessee at Carolina. Carolina's giving up 3.5.
Who's quarterbacking? Is Cam? Are they gonna let Tyke Richards back or what?
He's supposed to be.
Hey, I just want to throw something in there. Ashley Jones-Williams says that Chris, that new piece of meat might make him play better. But keep going though.
Y'all gonna lay off my people, man.
Who you taking?
Whose turn is it?
Tennessee at Carolina. Carolina giving up 3.5.
I'm going with Carolina, man.
Tennessee. Oh, wow. Well, you might be right on that one.
Tampa Bay at Seattle. Crab leg versus Seattle.
Man, please. What's the line?
6.5.
I'm definitely going with Seattle. I'm done with crab legs.
Detroit at Oakland. Oakland giving up 2.
Detroit at Oakland. I want Oakland. Jimmy, the starting 5 is on the screen, Jimmy.
I see it.
I got it. No, I split screen. I got all 4s on the screen now.
Hey, you popping the wheelie now.
I'm popping the wheelie. I told y'all I was going to get this shit.
I got 3 games left. Green Bay at the Chargers. And Green Bay is giving up 3.5.
That's Chris.
Green Bay's giving up 3.5
on the road.
On the road, Chargers been playing terrible too, man. I'm going with Green Bay, man. They've just been terrible, man. I don't care if it's on the road.
How about this? Cleveland at Denver. Cleveland is giving up 3 on the road to Denver.
I don't like Cleveland because I don't like the quarterback. but I like I like Odell Beckham, and there's some problems there. But I'll go with Cleveland.
And the Sharif special, New England at Baltimore. That's the late game, 7:20 Central Time on Sunday. New England at Baltimore.
Quarterback versus the running back.
New England is giving up 3.5.
Ooh, I'm taking New England, and I hate the Patriots.
There you go, and that's your picture.
And we'll wait to do that Monday night game. Zeke and Dak versus the Giants.
Stop.
That's gonna be a massacre. And I'm gonna be sitting right there at MetLife.
Gonna be cold as heck up there.
Yeah.
Be right there at MetLife waiting on them Cowboys.
Hey, here's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that Garrett Cole makes an appearance on that game on Monday Night Football, and the speculation will begin. That's what I'm predicting on Monday night. Garrett Cole.
So he's going to go to the Yankees?
No, he's going to the Yankees. He'll get in that game because the manager ain't smart enough to put him in the game last night. So you're right about that. Good job, Jimmy. Good job. He'll get in that game.
Oh, man.
The manager wasn't smart enough to put him in last night.
That's cold, man. Hey, guess what?
Hold on before you go, Jimmy. Buy us a minute. I think I might have something for you.
Okay, well, don't forget, guys, on November the 16th, tomorrow is the last day that you guys can obtain the specially priced $5 tickets for the season opener basketball showcase. That season opener basketball showcase will be held November the 16th at the Campbell Center. 8 games of action. You get $5 tickets, and Friday is the last day that you can get them. I'm going to tell you guys like this. It happens a lot of time. If you call me asking me for $5 tickets after this weekend, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to meet you. I'm going to comply with you, and I'm going to give you a $10 ticket, and you're going to pay this what it is at the door, or you're not going to get them at all. Don't call me for no $5 tickets when I went all out of my way to distribute these tickets at all these different schools around Greater Houston. Beaumont has them. Katy ISD has them. Over at all of the schools that are participating have them. You can check out the schedule and go to rcssports.com. rcssports.com. 8 games. That's 16 teams. 12 of the 16 are ranked in the preseason TABC statewide rankings. That means 12 of the 16 teams are ranked in the state right now, preseason. Right?
Hush your mouth.
So this is a hell of a card. And guess what? John Stovall.
What?
He's flying in.
Yes.
Eric Bossi with Rivals.com. He texted yesterday and saying he's planning on coming in. So once again, a national platform right here in Houston with Greater Houston teams. Think about that.
Is Chris Walker
if you got
coming?
Good enough talent, these guys are going to come.
When is it again? What's the weekend?
That's Saturday, November the 16th at the Campbell Center. That's the season opener.
Hey, Jimmy.
Powered by Boost Mobile.
Jimmy, is that the place? Chris, is that the place? Me and you had me calling the game with you, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I got some tapes of that. I said, man, don't you ever do me like this again?
Hey, I got a juicy one for y'all before we go.
Okay.
Emmanuel Book Richardson. We're gonna get him on the Chop Shop.
Okay.
And I guarantee we're gonna break the internet that day.
Hush your mouth. And
we're
I got
gonna
something.
Bust the internet.
And
bust
what I got
the internet.
Don't finish because I'm gonna end it. Don't finish and I'm gonna end. I got some.
So
are you done, Chris?
Have you confirmed the day with Book yet, Chris?
I'll confirm that I'm meeting with him today in Queens, and I'm going to confirm a date to get him on the Chop Shop.
And make sure he can Skype in.
I will definitely make sure he can Skype in.
And that'll be a great thing. Of course, that's how we're doing the Rock on the Chop Shop. And we want to thank you guys.
No, Jimmy, hold on. I told you I had something.
Yeah.
Jimmy, let me tell you something. Something is happening in my hometown this weekend that ain't never happened. Memphis, Tennessee. Game day is coming to Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis versus SMU football. It's a big, big thing. It's 58,325 tickets had been sold, and but 2,000 tickets left remaining that I know some big company gonna buy up and sell that place out. But game day football has never thought about coming to Memphis. It has taken over Beale Street, and Home Depot set is all over the place. It's a great fit. I mean, it's a great, I know y'all don't have no, but it's a big, big thing because I don't know if game day, game day has been here before for the Houston Cougars. So it's a big, big thing for Memphis. It never happened before. And I'm thinking about sneaking out here and going down there. So that's it. That's it. And guess what? One of the kids from Jimmy, the running back, is from Atascocita, Patrick Taylor. Thank you, Kevin Freitman.
Yeah, he is.
So guess what, guys? That being said, man, it's heading to the weekend. It's, of course, my birthday weekend. We're going to get it in down around H-Town. It's a little bit chilly outside. It's going to warm up. And we're wrapping up the magazine. The magazine will come out on November the 16th as well. That's basically the largest high school basketball publication in the United States since 2004. The RCS Sports The Magazine.
Hey, can I post where your party gonna be at? Can I post?
No.
Hey y'all, check my DM. Hey, I'm gonna put y'all. Hey, Chop Shop. Check your DMs, buddy. I got something for y'all.
We're going to get it loose, baby, this weekend. That's for sure. And I'm going to pick up all the spirits for everybody on tomorrow. That's what the old folks call it, spirits. I'm spending $1,000 on liquor.
I hope I know where you're getting it from.
I'm getting some of it from there. He can't bid. He probably don't have everything in stock. We're going to give him.
Well, go get as much as that 1,000 as you can get.
Bottles, baby, bottles, right there.
Get much as that 1,000. Well, I'm gonna bring. I bring my own. You understand me?
We're gonna get it in, baby. Hey, Hannah gonna drink a shot for you guys.
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
A shot of champagne.
My birthday, your birthday.
No,
a shot on your birthday. You drink a shot on my birthday.
I'm gonna drink a shot, but it's gonna be a shot of champagne, some champagne. That's what it's gonna be a shot of.
Oh my God!
Hey, we're gonna slide some Thunderbird in your shot, boy. It's gonna be good.
He don't need no Thunderbird. Trust me on that.
Hey man, stop it, man.
There's enough thunder in that bird already.
Put some Archie Bell Rails on for him. He got old school. Y'all see how the Ralph Farmer make him go viral. That's how it goes. Hey, since Deshaun going to London, we can see if we can get. You want to see if his little old toot want to come on to the party?
Oh
hey man, cut that out, man. Man, y'all cut that out, man.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, guys, you're getting this candy. Thanks so much. I see you, Darryl Anderson. Welcome back, man. He said he had access to the room with the food. That's exactly why you guys don't know where it is, because all the food gonna be clean gone.
Hey, Jimmy, did you see what Clarence Harris just said?
What did he say?
Is any syrup gonna be served at your party? That's illegal, Clarence Harris.
Hey, guess what? We're gonna have some edibles. My little niece told me. She said, Uncle Jimmy.
That's illegal, man.
No.
Oh,
that's a private party.
Is decriminalized?
They on Rice Krispies. Rice Krispies. He said, Miss Uncle Jimmy.
Man, I'm about to go, man. I gotta be on CBS, but I'm not trying to lose my job fooling with y'all.
Well, no, Chris. When is your first?
December 4th, South Carolina and UMass.
Baby. Hey,
I can't wait.
If you wear that tight ass jacket that you wore last year, we ain't gonna never watch. I know that for sure.
Hey, I hope you got a new wardrobe. I hope you got a new wardrobe. I'm tired of that same old outfit.
Fine, man. I'll let y'all go.
Hey,
man.
Take that blue jacket to the cleaners. It got some slob you on your pants. I've been talking last time. Take that thing. We're about it, guys.
We out of here,
y'all. Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live.